Hi students, today we are going to be looking at dividing a polynomial by a monomial. And when we are dividing a polynomial by a monomial, we're really just going to do the exact same rules of division. So just as a reminder, our division rules say that we divide the coefficients. So the coefficients are the big numbers in front. And we subtract the exponents. So just like when we were multiplying with polynomials, we use that same basic multiplication exponent rule. When we're dividing with polynomials, we're going to use the same division of exponent rules. So our steps for dividing a polynomial by a monomial tell us that we're going to rewrite each term, so that's each piece that is being added or subtracted, over the monomial. Right? And then we're going to simplify each of them using our basic laws of exponents, our division rule. So what this is really saying, if we look at this example A, is that what we want to do is we want to take each term of the polynomial, of the multiple terms, and we're going to divide it by each individual term. So I want to take 24c to the 6th, and I want to divide it individually by 4c squared. I'll say minus 12c to the 4th, and I will also divide it by 4c squared. Plus 60c to the 3rd, and I will divide that by 4c squared, right? So I'm taking this piece that I'm dividing by, and I'm dividing it into each individual term. Then I'm just going to think about this as 3 different terms. I'm going to look here, then I'm going to look in the middle, and then I'm going to look at the end. And I'm going to treat this just like I did my division rules when we learned our properties of exponents. So we'll say 24 divided by 4 is 6. And then we will subtract our exponents. 6 minus 2 is positive 4, so that goes in the numerator. 12 divided by 4 is 3. We will subtract our exponents. 4 minus 2 is 2. Right, worst case situation, if you say, I don't know what to do with the larger numbers. Remember, you can't type the variable into your calculator, but you can type in the coefficients. So if you're not sure for like 60 divided by 4, you could type in 60 divided by 4 in your calculator, which will give you 15. And then subtract the exponents. 3 minus 2 is 1. You can write the 1, but you do not have to write the 1. None of these are like terms, so that is our final answer. The biggest piece actually with dividing polynomials has nothing to do with the division. It has to do with the fact that we use different symbols to represent division. So this line means to divide, right? But this symbol right here also means to divide. The rules don't change though. We're still going to take each of these terms and divide them each individually by 6x to the 5th. So we will look at our first term. 30 divided by 6 gives us 5. And then we will subtract our exponents. 9 minus 5 gives us 4. Now, these don't always divide perfectly. So 19 over 6, we can't divide. Remember, we said we could just leave this as a fraction, right? We reduce those numbers. 19 over 6 doesn't reduce. And then we subtract. 7 minus 5 is 2. You have to have this written like this with that fraction bar along. The only way you can get away without that fraction bar is to really make sure you're representing that it's not in the denominator. We'll do 54 divided by 6, which gives us 9. 6 minus 5 is 1. So we could write x to the first or just x. And then this will be our answer. Number 3, we have not seen a division sign like that for a while, but it is still a division sign and could still be used. It still means the exact same thing. We are going to divide each individual term by 4y to the 3rd. So we will say 32 divided by 4. Again, if you need to use your calculator to do that division, please do. Whatever you need to do to get the correct number, but that is 8. 5 minus 3 gives us 2. 10 divided by 4 is not even, but we can reduce that. 2 will go into each of those, so that becomes 5/2. If you need to use your calculator, right? In your calculator, you're typing in 10 ABC, is it a 4? Yeah, 4 equals. This is giving it to you as a mixed number, so you'll have to hit second ABC to turn that back into that improper fraction. 4 minus 3 is +1, so that's going in the numerator. 44 divided by 4 is 11. Now be careful on this one. 3 minus 3 is 0. So this is really y to the 0 power, which we said equals 1. We don't need to write down times 1 there, so there's no y's left. That will be our final answer. And then our last example, this is just an example that has multiple variables happening. So we can do this whether there is 1 variable or 2 variables. The rules are still the same. So I will divide each of them individually. All right, I'm just writing each term of the numerator, each term at the top of the fraction, and dividing it by that denominator. So 22 divided by 2 is 11. And then I subtract exponents. 7 minus 2 is 5. 6 minus 1, right? When it doesn't have an exponent, it's a 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Then I subtract exponents. 5 minus 2 is 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. Could write the 1. I don't have to write the 1. 13 over 2, I can't do anything with. I can't simplify. 2 minus 2 is 0, so anything to the 0 power is 1. Those cancel out. Same thing here. 1 minus 1 is 0, so those cancel out. And here would be my final answer.